Welcome in. Thanks so much for coming in today. We're doing a thrift haul today. Welcome to my channel where we talk about jewelry and thrifting and all things wonderful that we find at thrift stores. These are items that I've thrifted a while back, some this week, etc. And of course, there's never enough time to just splice everything. Here's some necklaces. I just picked up that beaded one. The metal one I already had. I picked that up in Chicago, but I'm going to show you how I style it and how I put it together with some of the thrifting that I do. Here are two pieces that I adore. The beaded one I just picked up. This metal one is brass. It is hammered and signed. It's a wonderful art piece I picked up in Chicago. I've used it as a collar over a crew neck. I've used it with turtlenecks, and I've used it with low-cut blouses, and it just works incredibly well. Another thing I'm going to talk about is scarves today and how we can use them to accentuate and complement our jewelry. Something like this one is just very, very versatile. First of all, this is kind of a tapestry, kind of a woven texture rather. It has beautiful fringe. It's a wonderful neutral color of taupe and kind of a dove gray. So I thought it was perfect. I picked it up for, I think, just $2 at Desiree. Desiree Thrift Store is a wonderful one. I think it's a chain, so do check them out. They also color coordinate their racks, and it's really wonderful. The beaded necklace. These are gemstones. That is a clear quartz crystal there in the middle. But look how much more value I think it gives it when you pair it with something else. I think pairing beaded necklaces by themselves can be so boring. I really think adding a little bit of metal really helps out. Now, of course, you can wear your standard scarf any way that you like and your standard tie, but I'm going to talk a little bit about pairing the jewelry over the scarf, complementing the jewelry with the scarves. Now, I've seen two iconic fashion women. Both of them have since passed, and one is Millicent Rogers and the other is the late great Vivienne Westwood. And I love the way Vivienne Westwood would put brooches over her scarves, and she'd wrap this scarf really short. You wouldn't see any of the fringe or any of the ends sticking out too much. It almost just looked like a little bit extra collar, and then she'd probably wear a ruched lining, a ruched neckline rather, but she would put these oversized brooches over them, and I just love the look. I also changed it up a little bit here, not only with the cameo style there, but with that modernist brooch. I thought it gave it just a more elevated, elegant look. And of course, we're going into fall now, and scarves are used for a little warmth. They're incredibly warm with just a scarf sometimes when you work in a cold office or classroom, but I think they also are a fashion statement, as well as some women of a certain age do start to get a little draping around the neck, and that kind of helps with that as well, if that is something you might think about. Now, this is an incredible chain here, or rather strand of beads there. Those are Amazonite, 3 strands of Amazonite. I know I thrifted that this summer. I don't even recall whether it came out of a jar or whether I got it in a counter. I've been doing a lot of counter shopping at the Goodwill and what other stores. People often ask me my favorite thrift stores, but there's only a few. There's Family Thrift, there's Value Village, and now there's Desiree. I do like Desiree, but it closes early, so I kind of don't make it over there very often. Of course, the strand looks great by itself against black. Nothing like that, right? Everything looks fantastic under that blank canvas of black. But I do really like to play and experiment with different drapings, different styles. I may even add some metal to that. I think a little medallion would look great with that. There's a dress I just picked up there. I'll show you that shortly as well. And here's another pairing rather, with a large cameo. Again, the one that I saw Vivienne Westwood wearing was huge. It must have been 5 inches in diameter, and it was a true cameo with a shell. I just adored the look. I'm still picking up cameos and vintage brooches. I think brooches are an absolute classic. Many people say they've come back, but honestly, if you keep looking at fashion icons, fashion mavens, you will see them wearing brooches. in different ways. Here's a summer frock. I did sell this dress. It was new with tags, and I believe I picked that up at Desiree as well. And I just recently sold that amazing medallion, that lucite medallion there. I thought it just looked really beautiful together. This dress, basically, to me, it's a blank canvas. I think you could put a blazer over that and add a scarf, add maybe even more jewelry, and you could wear that anywhere. Or just love it as the wonderful sundress that it is. I am putting it with this wonderful lucite. This thing is incredible. It fits in my hand. And there's some look at the back. The lacing was beautiful on that. It is gauzy. I think it was 100% cotton. And it was lined, and I did sell that at my auction. By the way, if you're enjoying the video, please give it a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And of course, the classic coral here. I've had this coral piece forever, and it works with everything. Here's a wonderful sterling silver ginger cat in that wonderful medallion. Here is some of that. Is it Calamera? I always forget the name of that marble. Please school me. I just paired it with everything here, threw everything at it. More gemstones. These are genuine gemstones. And then that shorter one, I believe, is what is that? Rhodochrosite. I think it's rhodochrosite. I don't believe those beads are sterling. That was a new pickup. Love that. And then look what I put here. These look, from here they look like they're some kind of tiny beads, but they're actually gold tone, I don't know, mid-70s look here. These are the long strands of that super shiny, bold gold, stationed with some, I think, caged beads even. And I just love the look of that. I think it could, like I said, it could take you anywhere. Here's that wonderful blue dress. This is a new with tag dress, I believe. Oh, I don't remember the brand of this one. I think it's a Macy's brand. It's a department store brand. I like the ruching on it, though. It's got amazing, amazing detail, flattering detail on that dress. And again, we're going to change the look of these dresses merely by adding different jewelry. There's that cage bead chain that I had on the white dress as well. So I think this is kind of an office look. It can be a dinner look as well with that gold jewelry. I think it's just such a versatile look. I can remove some of that and make it a little simpler, maybe just with that wonderful agate medallion there. And it doesn't look so after 5, I think, without, I mean, with the longer strands. I think this one does give it more of an office or a work appeal, as does this one. I adore this necklace. I've had it forever. I've actually brought it to auction. It has not sold. It has kind of a cameo tips there with that are floral. And here's that collared necklace. I'm not sure if I like it with this. I really think it kind of fights with the print. Of course, you can't go wrong with classic pearls. These are some amazing pearls. They're genuine pearls. I love the variation in color as well. I've had these a while. I actually picked these up at a YouTube auction. By the way, if you're interested in anything you ever see in my videos, all you have to do is email me. All the description boxes hold my information of my email. Timestamps help me as well. We can always do a transaction through PayPal if you'll email me on anything you find of interest. But my auctions are held on Whatnot, usually on Wednesdays, and on Facebook, usually on Saturdays. That information is also in the description. Look at this amazing art piece. This necklace has coral. It has huge geometric blocks there of brass, genuine coral, porcelain, kind of Asian inspired beads there, and it fits absolutely like a choker. It's a 16-inch, I believe. So it's an incredible piece. This transforms anything. I was wearing this, excuse me, I shook the camera there. I was wearing this necklace when I did my previous video on the handbags. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it at the end of the video here. And of course, Millicent Rogers brought such style to Native American jewelry. She really brought it to the forefront in the 50s and 60s, and people just thought she was insane. But she wore it also with scarves. She wore a lot of jewelry with scarves underneath it. I saw pictures of her wearing $1,000,000 jewels, rubies, diamonds, etc., set against scarves. And it just looked so amazing because she could pair it with her, what they called dungarees back then. And just love it. I really love that squash blossom that came out of a jar. You may ask yourself, as I often do, what does one need with 4 black skirts? Well, black is the color that makes you look a little bit more put together. Does kind of hold you in, and it is slenderizing visually. So, not to mention that it is the ultimate neutral, and that it can take you from the office to evening pretty quickly. But honestly, these are 4 fabulous skirts that are of my 2 favorite fabrics, silk and linen, and I just couldn't resist them. They are also different lengths. One could actually almost be formal. This one here is 100% silk. It is amazing, and it was lined with polyester. I removed the lining because I don't like the feel of polyester on my legs, especially for sitting. So this was in the boutique at the Goodwill. Let me see what the brand is. Accidentally removed the brand label, but I believe it was Italian, and I removed it with the lining because I did go in here and take out all of the lining, and I absolutely adored it. It's a little sheer, but it's not a big deal. I do have black slips, and I actually prefer cotton slips. Then this one is an Eileen Fisher. This is the one I'm wearing today with a simple white t-shirt. It has a distressed look to it, and this one is also lined, but it's lined in cotton. So very smart of Eileen Fisher's design team there. And it has not a rough edge or a raw edge, but kind of a fringed, imposed fringe there. Really lovely. This one is right at the knee, perfect for today for lunch. I'm going to meet my daughter and grandson for lunch. And here is another amazing linen. And did I remove the lining from this one too? There is another one that I removed the lining to. This one is really pretty. It has some wonderful stitching, and when you can get them for $6 or less, why not pick them up? I adore them. These are my new jeans. Black linen and satin. I mean, black linen and silk is the new denim. Not the new black. Black is the new denim skirt, new denim, blue jeans. Skirts are so much more comfortable than jeans for me any day of the week. Remove the lining from this one. Okay. Yeah, this is an Ellen Tracing made in China. Fabulous, fabulous linen. I love that stitching that they did there. And then this one was also lined, and I removed it. And I removed it because the lining was polyester as well, or it was another. I also felt like it was going to be hot with so many linings. Not as sheer as the other one, I think. As you can see, really flattering stitching as well throughout, as well as black on black embroidering. And this was a fabulous eBay score. There it is, Irish linen by Richard Malcolm. I don't know who Richard Malcolm is. Kind of a long A-line, I would say. This one is more pencil, but also long. All of them are long except for the distress. I do wear the long skirts for day or night. I just adore them. Those are just my everyday wardrobe. Every day. Don't put jeans on. Put a black skirt. You'll look much more elegant, much more put together, especially when you can thrift names like Eileen Fisher, and 100% silk. This silk is like organza. It's an organza silk. It's amazing. Absolutely love it. All right, here's another fantastic find. Both of these were bought at the Goodwill. The pink vest was bought in the boutique area, and the boutique area of Goodwill usually has either new with tags or new without tag items. Sometimes they're a little high, sometimes they're, I mean, compared to what clothes will cost you, they're very, very reasonable. Giveaway prices. I hate to complain about the Goodwill. That was only $7, and that is a J. Crew. It is 100% cotton, but it felt like cashmere. Absolutely feels amazing. Here's a green pearl and green stone necklace. Not sure what the stone is. I don't believe it's jade. I think it's another stone or maybe even glass, but those are real pearls, and I love, absolutely love pink and green together. I think they are made for each other. Absolutely amazing pairing, in my opinion. And I just kind of love this little outfit. I think popping up the collar is good. Adding some other jewelry. I added a brooch here. I think the brooch really elevates the look. I love the way it pairs with the necklace. I do want to lower it a bit. Always careful where I put those brooches. It really depends on the size and the design of the brooch, whether you put it up a little higher to the shoulder. So do play with that. Also, the position of the brooch depends on the style and design. Sometimes you want it to sit a little higher by the shoulder, and sometimes you want it a little lower. All of it depends on the weight, the design, etc. A trend these days is the initial brooch, and mind you, I say trend, but also this is a classic look. Brooches are classic. Just because you don't think that they are, or you haven't seen your cohorts or your co-workers wear them, doesn't mean that they aren't. Take a look at some of the Netflix shows. Take a look at what's going on when you watch television. The lead actors are always wearing brooches, and they look fantastic. Here's a wonderful bag that I just recently sold at my Whatnot handbag auction. This is Eileen, or is it Ellen? I think it's Ellen or Eileen Turner. Their signature is a hot pink lining. I adore this. It screams Miami ladies. It screams summer. Guys, it is going to be summer until September. Let's relish it. Let's really go out there and use those wonderful bags and outfits. Yesterday, I bought me another wonderful woven bag with lucite handles. I was antiquing with my wonderful friend Becky, and you'll have to see that in the next haul. This was a tag again. What was that? Close to $50 or more from J. Crew. Got it for $6. Tommy Bahama is the brand of the shirt. I adore that crinkle fabric. That'll save me ironing or steaming right out of the laundry. Whatnot is that you can find everything. It feels like you're at a flea market. It feels like you're at a garage sale. I picked up that wonderful jewelry casket. I picked up that fantastic Signer moon glow necklace there. That one. It is just amazing. I think it's a Signer or a listener. I forget, but it's beautiful. And I already had the other Chalcedony and Mother of Pearl, and I just love putting particular jewelry into these jewelry caskets. This one is musical. I paid only $10 for it. It's a wonderful design. The music box still works, as you can see, and we actually looked at some of these at the stores that we antiqued at yesterday. I was antiquing with my wonderful friend Becky. We went into Huntsville, and they have a good 2 blocks of stores there. I loved it. But all of the caskets and the jewelry boxes that we saw like this with the clear glass started at $30. They were not anywhere near what I paid for this one, and I paid only $10 for this one. So do take advantage of my links that are in my description box. You can buy something from me or from any other seller on Whatnot. And again, I picked that one up for only $10. Here's another bolo for you. Be on the lookout for anything Hot Topic, anything Y2K, anything that screams rebellion, Gen Z, etc. Here's a pierced and stitched teddy bear looking a little bit sad, a little gothic. Brittany's in the news every day. I do not leave her behind, even though she looks a little bit like Jessica Simpson there. I will definitely put these up on eBay for no less than $26, $28, maybe even $30 on those. Here's another fabulous find from the antique stores that I went to last month, I believe it was. I picked up this boot. I'm not sure if I paid 10 or 20 for that. It's extremely heavy, extremely witchy looking. I absolutely love it, and I guess it could be a weapon or a doorstop. Love that, though. Look at that. Look at that ruching on that dress. I absolutely adore it. It is a wonderful 100% cotton dress made in the USA, and it does fall right around the ankle. So I bought that for myself. I love the ruching, the draping. Oh my gosh, it's just very, very flattering, very comfortable. All summer, this is what I'm looking for, dresses and skirts, something to really be comfortable in. The heat is so overbearing, and of course in cotton or silk or linen, those are my fabrics. I put in the jewelry, of course, to add a little bit of panache. Definitely, I think you change your looks. I love that sunny yellow. That's just an acrylic. I think this chunky amber, I don't know, it kind of adds a little bit of seriousness, doesn't it? Looks a little bit art collector. I don't know, I just adore it. Here's a wonderful amber piece as well. It's kind of a deco design. I put it together, took it apart. Look at the difference in the looks, in the vibe, in the feeling that you get from this jewelry, all together or separate. It's just a completely different look. One is kind of a simple, elegant. One is a little hippie boho. And then we have a little seriousness when you wear the amber all by itself. There's the brand. I think it's actually an internet brand. It's pure, 100% cotton is the content of the fabric. Beautiful. Hallelujah. I have not found a Peter Max scarf in probably, I don't know, 20 years. Maybe a little bit less. Maybe 15 years ago I did find another huge square Peter Max. This is a rectangular one. It is a beautiful red silk. Oh my gosh, the graphics that he does are so amazing. Look at that earth splitting into flowers. It's splitting into something that grows. Isn't it just gorgeous and so timely and so telling? And just, oh my gosh, I just could not believe it. Look at the little stars. And in a rectangular cut, I love, because you can wear it in your hair so easily. You can tie it in so many different ways. Of course, I need to wash that, send it to get cleaned. It's got, you know, a little bit sign of wear, but no stains or anything of that nature. Just amazing. I wish I could take credit for it, but my daughter was actually the one who found it. Yes, I had the good fortune of taking her with me thrifting. She often thrifts alone now. I've definitely made her into a thrifter, but she found that and said, "Look, Mom, Peter Max." I was so excited. There's my huge mannequin wearing my dad's Stetson. She was modeling some of my handbags for that auction I had on Whatnot. By the way, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Consider joining the channel to support the content here. That always helps as well, but the subscriptions are always free. This is DKNY. This is the heyday of handbags. This bag probably came out in the 90s or early 2000s. It is completely trimmed in 100% leather. I forgot to show you this. I even had jewelry stuffed in there. I thrifted that probably a month ago when I took you to that huge thrift store with the furniture. So I think I paid $12 for it, but look at that beautiful lined bag in full leather. Handbags today are compromised. DKNY makes pretty much plastic handbags now. So I always go for her original Donna Karan, of course, and her DKNY, because she did not compromise on fabric and material. Please be sure and follow me to Stephen this week, everyone. I will be selling jewelry on Stephen's channel. I'll leave that link below. Stephen at Sugar Vision does amazing jewelry auctions, and he invited me to be a guest. So, of course, I said yes, and I will be there on the 10th. Again, that link will be listed below. Be sure and subscribe as well so you never miss another video. Bye-bye.